Come and find your comfortable seated position. That could be sitting up on a block or a blanket or even a pillow. Make sure that your shoulders can comfortably come back over your hips and that you're not rounding forward or letting your low back really slump back. For today, you'll need 2 blocks. If you don't have blocks, that's okay. You can use heavy books or anything to put your hands on, especially if your low back is tweaky or even if your knees are painful. You'll also need some sort of roll. This is a Forrest yoga roll made from an extra mat, but what you could do instead is use a blanket and take a blanket or a big beach towel and roll it up so it's about this size. You'll also need padding for your knees, or if you do have 2 mats, you can just stack your 2 mats, and that's probably enough. And you'll need a wall. If you don't have a wall, that's okay. I'll show you what to do without a wall. Most of this practice, I will be showing a not near a wall because my camera has to move to be near the wall. And I'll do that at the end so that we can do some wall stuff together, again with options if you don't have a wall. But the beginning of the practice, I will be showing it without the wall. And I'll indicate this as we go through. So slow down your breath. Make sure that you're breathing in your Ujjayi breath, making that whisper sound. Let the slowness and the sound of your Ujjayi breath bring you into your body. And it may help you to actually close your eyes. If closing your eyes is uncomfortable, just pick a spot on the floor about 4 feet in front of you and soften your gaze there. Now, as you inhale, wash your breath through your whole body, using it to feel and explore, feeling for a spot that needs your attention. Not only needs your attention, but a spot that you're willing to bring your attention to for the whole duration of the class today. For those of you who are working with an injury or some sort of pain, this may be your spot. But if you're not willing to bring your attention to that through the whole class, pick another spot that feels like it needs some attention. Take the next few breaths to really hone in on this spot that you're willing to focus on for class today. And once you have your spot, now send your breath with kindness and compassion into your spot. So if that seems like a lot or pretty foreign to you in this moment, that's okay. Just feel for softening your breath and sending a very soft breath in or around your spot. And as you exhale, rinse that breath in and around your spot. Use the rest of the class today to not only continually send your attention into your spot, but send your breath into your spot in a way that moves you towards kindness and compassion for this spot. And in this way, you'll be moving towards a struggle-free practice. Pranayama is Kapalabhati, 75 to 100 pumps, followed by 1 round of Uddiyana. So you can stay in your easy cross legs, switching the cross of your legs, or if you'd like, you can come into Baddha Konasana, the soles of the feet together. You also have the option of doing this version of, it's actually a different pose name, but a version of Baddha Konasana where the feet are really far away from the hips. Or you can even have your legs just out to a very slim straddle if this is better for your hips or your knees. If you're pregnant, you're either doing 3 deep breaths into Ujjayi breaths into the back bottom ribs, mid back ribs, and upper back ribs. Or you can do alternate nostril breathing. No breath holds, no pulling the belly in. Everyone else, come into your chest opener, squeezing your shoulder blades towards each other. The back of the skull over the back of your hips. Start with partial inhale, 75 to 100 pumps of Kapalabhati. When you're done with your Kapalabhati, take a deep inhale, holding the breath at the top of the inhale. And then normally, with your Ujjayi breath, exhale all the breath out, get empty. Now set up for Uddiyana. Take a partial inhale in. Walk your hands forward, exhale forcefully, all the breath out, get empty. Suction your belly back and up towards the spine, dragging your ribs away from the waist. Feel how this affects your low back and your spot. Before you need to breathe in, let your belly go. Walk your hands up. Come back up to sit. Come into a seated side bend. Straighten your left leg. The right foot comes to the inside of the thigh. Wrap your right arm around to grab something. It could be your waistband, your pants, or even your thigh. And you might even pinch up your pants a little bit. Stretch the left arm towards the ceiling. Inhale, stretch your ribs up. Exhale, lean into your side bend, relaxing your neck. Slide both shoulder blades away from the ears. And with the shoulder blades down, as you inhale, lift your sternum up away from your mid and bottom front ribs. Get taller even as you're moving towards your left. Exhale, feel for having your neck relax incrementally more. This way that we work in Forrest Yoga with a relaxed neck and even a relaxed jaw is a way to practice with kindness and compassion for yourself. So as your neck starts allowing itself to relax incrementally more, notice how that connects to how you feel in your spot. Release your right arm straight up towards the ceiling. As you breathe in, stretching those fingers towards the ceiling. Extend the arm over the ear. As you exhale, wrap the shoulder blade towards the armpit. Extend your right arm over the ear. Keep the arm straight. So that might mean that the arm is a little bit forward or a little bit more towards the ceiling. That's okay. Keep pressing into your legs. Keep your feet active. Press into your left hand. Inhale, scoop the bottom left side ribs away from the waist. Exhale, maybe come a little deeper into your side bend, but keep turning the right side of your chest towards the ceiling. Inhale, sweep your right arm up. Bring it into neck release. And then from there, pull yourself back up. Take your left hand on the cheek and gently bring your head back up. Switch sides. Straighten your right leg. The left foot comes to the inside of your thigh. Wrap your left arm around. Grab something. Make sure that you work with how your shoulders feel. So that means grab as far as you can without feeling for any impingement in the joint or any increase in pain. Then bring your right arm towards the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale, lean into your side bend, relaxing your neck. Push down through your legs, push out through the ball of the right foot. Inhale, scoop your right bottom side ribs away from the waist. Get longer through the spine. Exhale, feel for that sweet spot of relaxing your neck. Separate the backs of the teeth and let your jaw be slack. As you inhale, just luxuriate in any sweetness that you feel in this pose. Could be in your spot, could be somewhere else. And as you exhale, rinse that sweetness that you feel in the pose in and around your spot. And then release your left arm. Inhale, stretch it up overhead. Get those fingers and the arm reaching up. Exhale, wrap the shoulder blade, bring the arm over the ear, and relax your neck incrementally more. Pursue that sweet spot, which really means just letting yourself release and let go in the pose without collapsing. Working with your own organic rate of release to come a little deeper into the pose. And deeper may not mean side bending deeper. It might mean feeling on a deeper level. Inhale, sweep that left arm up. Bring it back into neck release and use it to help pull yourself back up. Take your right hand on the cheek and lift your head gently back up. Gather your legs, come onto your backs. Grab your block. We're going to warm up the spine first. Place your block between your thighs. If you're pregnant, what you're doing here is obelisk with a block. So the block stays on, your head stays down, no pulling the belly in, no breath holds. Exhaling, spreading the low back and your sacrum into the floor. Inhale, the back bottom ribs stay on the floor, but your low back may lift off just a tiny bit. The pelvis moves away from the belly button. And keep doing that. Everyone else, you have the option of also doing obelisk with a block if your back is really painful. But what we're doing now is basic abs with the block is great for warming up the spine. Elbows up, breathe in through the whole back. Hold the breath, spread the low back down, scoop your tailbone up, squeeze your block. Active feet. Exhale, lift the head and shoulders up. Pull your low belly down. Inhale spaciously, bring the shoulders and the head to the floor. Hold the breath, scoop the tailbone up, squeeze your block. Exhale, lift the head and shoulders up, pull your low belly down. Breathe in, shoulders and head to the floor. Hold the breath, scoop the tailbone up, squeeze your prop. Exhale, lift the head and shoulders up, pull your low belly down. Inhale, shoulders and head to the floor. Hold the breath, scoop the tailbone up, squeeze your block or prop. Exhale, lift the head and shoulders up, pull your low belly down. Inhale, bring your shoulders and the head to the floor. Unwind the hands, remove your block. We're moving into elbow to knee. If your back still needs warming up, or if you're pregnant people keep the head down. Everyone else whose low back still needs warming up, you can just lift one leg when it's time to straighten the leg. But if you're not pregnant, you could still lift your head. Everyone else, clasp your hands behind the base of the skull, elbows up, bring the knees over the hips, feet lower than the line of the knees. Inhale, lift the head and shoulders up. Hold the breath, spread the low back down, scoop your tailbone up. Exhale, elbows towards the left knee, right leg straight. Push out through the ball of the right foot and pull your low belly towards the floor. Breathe in deeply into your spot, come back to center. Hold the breath, spread the low back down, scoop your tailbone up. Exhale, elbows towards the right knee, left leg straight. Pull your low belly down. Breathe in, come back to center. Bring the shoulder blades off of the floor. Hold the breath, spread the low back down, scoop your tailbone up. Exhale, elbows towards the left knee, right leg straight. Keep the left elbow also pointing towards the left thigh, getting that left shoulder blade lifting off the floor. Pull your low belly down. Inhale deeply, come back to center. Hold the breath, spread the low back down, scoop your tailbone up. Exhale, elbows towards the right knee, left leg straight. Push out through the ball of the foot. Imagine you have a wall there and you're pushing into the wall. Pull your low belly down. Breathe in, come back to center. Do 3 more on your own, moving in a way that feels kind in your whole body, but in particular in your spot. Smooth movements. No jerking. Relax the front of your neck. Separate the backs of the teeth. When you're done, exhale, bring the head, bring the feet down, and then grab your block again for 2-part twisting abs with a block. If you're pregnant, repeat abless with a block, or if you'd like, you could sit up and do straddle with a side bend. Make sure that you do both sides. Options here for everybody else. You could have your feet flat on the floor, especially if you're still working on warming up your back. You could bend your knees 90 degrees or legs straight up towards the ceiling. Now, if you can't get the backs of the knees to be straight, bend your knees 90 degrees. Clasp your hands behind the base of the skull. No matter what you're doing, you're activating your feet, spreading the toes, lifting the toes. Inhale, lift the head and shoulders off of the floor. Hold the breath, squeeze your block. Exhale, lift the head and shoulders up, or the head and shoulders are already up, so just bring them towards the left thigh as you scoop your tailbone up and pull the low belly down. Breathe in, come back to center. Hold the breath, squeeze your block. Exhale, scoop the tailbone up, bring both elbows towards your right thigh, and pull your lower belly down. Make sure your right shoulder blade is off the floor. Inhale, come back to center. Hold the breath, squeeze your prop. Exhale, scoop the tailbone up, both elbows towards your left thigh. Scoop the tailbone up again, squeeze your block again, and pull your lower belly down. Breathe in, come back to center. Hold the breath, squeeze your block. Exhale, scoop the tailbone up, bring both elbows towards your right thigh, and pull your lower belly down. Inhale, come back to center. Hold the breath, squeeze your prop. Exhale, scoop the tailbone up, both elbows towards your left thigh. Now scoop the tailbone up again, squeeze your block again, and pull your lower belly down. Inhale deeply, come back to center. Hold the breath, squeeze your prop. Exhale, scoop the tailbone up. Bring both elbows towards your right thigh. Scoop the tailbone up again. Squeeze your block again. Pull your lower belly down. Inhale, first come back to center. Exhale, bring the head, bring the feet down. Bring your hands onto your low abdominal muscles. Breathe in there, even if it's not your spot, and feel. Then remove your block. Set it off to the side, setting up for a bridge pose. Graze the back of your heels with your longest fingertips. Feet parallel, hips width apart. Stretch your breath through your back ribs. Exhale, scoop the tailbone up, lift the hips towards the ceiling. Inhale, pushing into the feet, lift your sternum towards the chin, so you're lengthening the top of your spine. Exhale, pressing into your feet, scoop the tailbone towards the back of the knees, squeeze your sit bone muscles toward your tailbone. Feel how that lights up the backs of your thighs. You might even start feeling it in your inner legs. As you inhale here, connect into your spot with the breath that brings with it kindness and compassion, which means a soft breath, a deep breath, a breath that feels whatever it is. Even if you're not feeling kindness and compassion, that's okay. Just feel without judging, just observing. Now grab your sit bone muscles, so stay in bridge. Reach around with your longest fingertips and find your actual sit bones. The palms of your hands are going to be on the very bottom of your buttocks, and your fingers may spill over to the backs of your thighs. So you're reaching around in the crease that connects the bottom of your buttocks to the back of the thighs. Inhale, lift your sternum towards your chin. Exhale, squeeze those sit bone muscles towards your tailbone, and you feel that in your hands. Feel how your buttocks muscles are lighting up. Feel how the backs of the thighs and your inner legs are lighting up. Relax your arms. Inhale into your side ribs. Keep pressing into your feet. Exhale, come down very slowly in increments, scooping your tailbone up the whole way down. Make space. Bring your hands onto your thighs, heels of the hands in your hip creases. Back traction. Inhale, push into your thighs, and feel into your back and along your spine. If this is uncomfortable, you can play with the tilt of your pelvis, just a little play. It's not exaggerated. You could either spread the low back into the floor, Or have your pubic bones start tilting in the direction of the floor, where your low back may lift away from the floor a tiny bit. Then release that, turn over to your side, make your way up to sit. Let your head be the last to come up. Come on to hands and knees. We're gonna do barely turbo dog. Actually, barely turbo puppy. Come on to your hands and knees. Wrists right underneath the shoulders, shoulder width apart. Straighten your arms, pushing into the hands. Breathe into your upper back. Then micro bend your elbows. So the elbows start pointing in the direction of your thigh, straight back, not out to the sides. Spread your fingers wide. Make sure that the middle fingers in both hands are pointing straight forward, not out to the sides and not in towards the center line. Push into your hands, keeping your micro bend in the elbows. Inhale through the upper back. Exhale, shoulder blades away from the ears. And now relax your neck and increment more. Inhale, feel along the outer edges of your shoulder blades. Exhale, feel for wrapping that part of those shoulder blades towards the armpits. Keep that pressing into the hands. That's going to help with that a lot. Now we're going to move into turbo puppy, keeping that feeling. So move your hands forward about 4 inches. Bend the elbows halfway towards the floor. Push into the hands. Breathe into your upper back. Exhale, wrap the shoulder blades towards the armpits, squeezing your elbows towards each other. Relax your neck. Feel the connection of pressing into your hands and how that gives you the ability to connect to those muscles, the serratus anterior muscles around your shoulder blades. Then straighten the arms, sit back up. We're coming into horse stance with shoulder shrugs. So everyone can do this, or some version of this. For horse stance, feet are 4 feet apart. Rotate the toes out a little bit, bend the knees. The knees and the toes should go somewhat in the same direction. If this hurts your knees, you could do this in a straddle, standing straddle. Shoulder shrugs. Breathe into your upper back. Hold the breath. Shrug the shoulders straight up. Squeeze straight back. Exhale, squeeze. Drag down your back. Breathe into the upper back. Exhale, squeeze straight back. Squeeze. Drag down your back. Send your breath between the shoulder blades. Exhale, squeeze bottom tips of shoulder blades. Add your elbows to squeeze and drag down your back. Let's do another round. Saturate your upper back with breath. Hold the breath. Shrug the shoulders straight up. Just keep that shrugging up. Squeeze straight back. Exhale, let the breath be long and squeeze down about 2 inches. Release that. Breathe into the upper back. Exhale, squeeze straight back, no shrugging, just squeeze straight back and then drag down the back. Balloon your breath into the upper back. Exhale, squeeze bottom tips of shoulder blades. Add your elbows to squeeze and drag down your back. Push into your feet. Inhale, straighten the legs. Heel toe your feet back underneath your hips. Come back onto your hands and knees. We're going to do dolphin pose. Set up for dolphin by grabbing your upper arm bones. Then, options, clasp hands for extra support, or forearms parallel, the middle finger points straight forward. Either way, relax your neck. Push into the forearms, breathe into your upper back. Exhale, wrap the shoulder blades.
If you have further to go, tuck the toes, straighten the knees. Or keep the knees bent, hips up. Feel your breath flood your upper back. Exhale, push into your forearms, wrap your shoulder blades. Now send your breath into your spot, noticing when you support yourself in the pose, how this affects your feeling of kindness and compassion in your spot. Bring your knees down. We're doing another dolphin, but this version is dolphin with the palms up. So grab your block. We're doing it with a block. Place your block on the widest width on your mat. Then bring your forearms down first. Have your elbows lined up with your wrists. Then, listen carefully, lift your whole left forearm off the floor, from the elbow to the fingers. Then rotate that whole forearm and lower the arm. The pinky finger and the outside of the hand will be touching the block. Do the other side. Inhale, lift your right arm away from the floor about an inch. Rotate the whole forearm, lower the arm into the floor. Now relax your neck. Squeeze the block between your pinky fingers and the outside of your hands and your wrists. Breathe into the upper back. Exhale, push into the forearms, wrapping the shoulder blades. This may feel different than the other version of dolphin. Inhale, just feel whatever it is that you feel. No judgment. Inhale through your spine, along your spine, and through your back. If you have further to go, tuck the toes. Exhale, knees away from the floor, which could mean keeping the knees bent, but hips up. Relax your neck, no matter what version you're doing. Some of you may be able to get your thumbs on the floor. Some of you, like me, can't do that at the moment, but you're still turning your thumbs energetically towards the floor, fingers spread. Inhale, feel your breath swirl around your center ribs from side to side, front and back. Get your ribs to expand, get broader for a deeper, softer, more compassionate breath for yourself. Then bring your knees down. Sit back in embryo. If you're pregnant and this crushes your belly, move your knees out to the side. If this hurts your knees, you can grab a pillow or a blanket and place it between the backs of the thighs and your calves. You can also rest your head on a block. To come out, hands beneath the shoulders. Inhale, slowly roll up. Move your props if you're using them. And come to stand. Sun salutations. If you need extra padding for your knees, this is the time to grab a blanket and place your blanket halfway across your mat. If you've got those 2 layers of mat, you should be fine. If you're practicing on a mat on a carpet, should be okay. But at any point, if your knees feel painful when they're on the floor, stop, grab extra padding, put it underneath your knee. Activate your feet. Squeeze your sit bone muscles down the backs of the thighs. Breathe into your side ribs. Exhale, bring the hands to heart center and slide your tailbone slightly towards the floor. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Lunge, inhale, lightly step the left foot back. If you'd like blocks, grab them. You can put your hands on blocks They can stay on the floor on your thigh, or if you're ready, they can come up overhead. Plank, exhale, hands down. Inhale, step back. Exhale, lower the knees, lower all the way to the floor. If you're pregnant and this is uncomfortable, come up onto your shins and do a baby camel or chest opener on your knees and your shins. For everyone else, low cobra. Start off in Sphinx. Move your elbows forward just 1 inch. Plug your pubic bone into the floor, your feet into the floor. Inhale, pull your ribs forward, elbows 2 inches off the floor. Dragging the ribs forward, lower down. Hands underneath the shoulders, exhale, down dog. Lunge, inhale. Step your left foot forward. Move in a way that feels kind to yourself. Exhale, forward fold. That could be slowing down the movements. That's okay. Or even speeding them up. Inhale, stand up. Exhale, hands at heart center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Could be rolling down. Lunge, inhale, right foot back. Plank, exhale, hands down. Inhale, step back. Exhale, lower the knees, lower all the way down. Pull your belly in the whole way down. Low cobra. Inhale, pull your ribs forward. Pull the ribs forward, exhale, lower down. Come into down dog. Lunge, inhale, lightly step your right foot forward. Exhale, forward fold. Activate your feet. Press them into the floor. Inhale, stand up. Exhale, hands at heart center. Sun variation. Come into chair. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Scoop your ribs forward. Bend your knees. Get your back flat. If this hurts, bring your hands on your thighs. Lift up a little more. Then bend the knees more. Exhale, step back into your plank. Lower the knees, lower all the way to the floor. Low cobra, inhale, pull the ribs forward. Pull the ribs forward, lower down. Exhale, down dog. Lunge with the back knee up. Step your left foot forward. Keep the right knee up. You may need blocks here, or light blocks. Hips forward and down. If this hurts your front knee, just scoot the ankle forward. If you have further to go, hands on your thigh or even up overhead. Bring the hands down. Exhale, step back into your plank. Lower the knees, lower all the way to the floor. Low cobra, inhale, pull the ribs forward. Pull the ribs forward, lower down. Exhale, down dog. Lunge, inhale, lightly step your right foot forward. The back knee stays up. Arms where they work for you in this moment. Hands down. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees. Inhale, come up into chair. Exhale, hands at heart center. One more like that. Inhale into chair. Exhale, forward fold. Scoop your ribs forward, breathe in. Plant the hands, exhale, step back into your plank. Lower the knees, lower all the way to the floor. Low cobra, inhale, pull the ribs forward. Pull the ribs forward, lower down, down dog. Exhale. Lunge with the back knee up. Step your right foot forward. Inhale. Sink your hips forward and down, but keep pressing into both feet. Exhale, forward fold. Relax your neck. Oh, not forward fold. Step back. Lower all the way to the floor. Little Cobra. Inhale, pull your ribs forward. Pull the ribs forward, lower down. Exhale, down dog. Lunge with the back knee up. Step your left foot forward. Inhale, float your arms up. Now forward fold. Hands down, exhale. Inhale into chair. Exhale, hands in heart center. You may feel warmer now. This is the time, if you have a wall, move to the wall so that the short end of your mat is right up against the wall. If you don't have a wall, like I don't at this moment, that's okay. You're gonna do what I do. Be serious with standing poses. Inhale into chair. Exhale, forward fold. Let your torso hang. Scoop your ribs forward, bend your knees, get your back flat. Breathe in. Exhale, step back into your plank. Lower your knees, lower all the way to the floor. Come up onto hands and knees. Grab your roll up. If you're pregnant, you're not doing this. You're doing baby camel. Telescoping your ribs up. Everyone else, low cobra over the roll, lie over the roll. Make sure your front bottom ribs are not on your roll, so you might have to scoot forward. Come into Sphinx first. Plug your feet into the floor, curl the pubic bone towards the floor. Inhale, drag your ribs forward, lift the elbows up. If this is too much at this point, be compassionate with yourself and come back into your Sphinx. You could still drag your ribs forward here. If it feels uncomfortable, stay and breathe. Breathe with kindness for yourself, compassion for yourself, and work with your own organic rate of release. But if it's sharp pain, back out. You may even just lie over the roll. Drag your ribs forward, come all the way down. Hands beneath the shoulders. Peel yourself up. Move your roll off to the side, come into down dog, exhale. Eagle warrior two, step your left foot forward. Set up in warrior two. Line up your front heel with your back arch. And I'm mirroring you here. Then float your arms back up if you followed me. Wrap your left arm on top of the right. So you could double wrap, you could single wrap, you could even bring your opposite hands to your shoulders or shoulder blades. Or you could even straighten your left arm with the right arm still hugging it. Whatever feels the most helpful for your shoulders. Pull your belly in, squeeze those sit bone muscles. Inhale into the upper back. Exhale, make sure the elbows are right in front of the shoulders. Shoulder blades down, send the elbows forward and hands away from the face. Inhale spaciously into your spot. Rinse your exhale through your spot. Use both parts of your breath to make space for more feeling in a supported, compassionate way. Reverse warrior with back traction. Unwind your arms. Stay in warrior two. Lift the right arm towards the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale, bring the right hand to your hip crease and keep the left hand hovering over the thigh for a neck release. With the right hand on the hip crease, gently push down into your thigh. Inhale, feel for lifting the bottom side right ribs away from the hips. Exhale, plug both feet into the floor, squeeze your sit bone muscles, and from that support, relax your neck a little more. It could always be turning your chin down towards the floor. One way to practice your yoga and your breathing in a very compassionate way for yourself is to not do every pose with a certain expectation of how it should feel, how it should look. It's releasing and letting go of the expectation and feeling whatever it is you feel. If there's sharp pain, then making a choice to change your position in a way that brings you away from pain, away from struggle. But if it's just a discomfort, stay there and breathe. This is actually a very compassionate way of working because you're working with your own organic rate of release. Then to come out of this, pull with your left arm, inhale, come back up, bring both hands to the floor. Exhale, back into your plank, lower all the way to the floor. Cobra push-ups over the roll. Yay! If you're pregnant, you're not doing this. It's baby camel. Or you could do horse stance with back traction, working on getting low and squeezing your sit bone muscles. Everyone else, lie over the roll, hands beneath the shoulders. Curl the pubic bone towards the floor, plug your legs and the tops of the feet into the floor, shoulder blades away from the ears. Inhale, pushing into the hands, drag your ribs forward, lift up. Exhale, drag the ribs forward, lower down, get longer. Inhale, drag your ribs forward, lift up. Squeeze those sit bone muscles down the backs of the thighs. Exhale, drag your ribs forward, lower down. Do 2 more rounds on your own. Move in a compassionate way, which does not mean just lying over your roll unless you're in pain. Discomfort is not the kind of pain to back away from. It's the pain, the kind of feeling to stay with and breathe into. Peel yourself off your roll. Meet up in down dog as you exhale. Down dog, one leg up. If you're at a wall, move back enough, might be just 1 or 2 inches. Everyone, lift your left leg up. If you're at a wall, you're pushing the ball of the left foot into the wall. If you're not at a wall, you're still pushing back through your left ball of the foot. Inhale along your spine. Squeeze that left sit bone muscle toward your tailbone. Exhale, keep pressing back through the ball of the foot if you're on a wall or not. Lower the left foot to the floor. Step your right foot forward. Warrior 2, Eagle Warrior 2. I'm mirroring you, so make sure your right leg is forward and bent. Your right arm wraps on top of your left. Yes. I'm getting myself mixed up with right, left already. If this is uncomfortable, you could always single wrap. Hug yourself. Or your right arm is straight. Elbows right in front of the shoulders. Spread your breath into your upper back. Exhale, shoulder blades away from the ears. Send your elbows forward and the hands away from the face. The back of the skull is right over your hips. This is actually a way to relax the neck when the head is right over your shoulders, because you're working with gravity.
meaning that your spine supports your neck and the weight of your skull, instead of having to use extra effort to hold up your head. Reverse warrior with neck release. Inhale the left arm up. Exhale, come into reverse warrior, right arm hovering over your right thigh. Relax your neck. Push gently into the left hand. Inhale the left bottom side ribs away from the waist. Exhale, squeeze the left sit bone muscle down the back of the thigh. Feel your own strength. Feel how your own strength, with your breath, with the foundation of your active feet, your legs, just squeezing of those sit bone muscles, supports you in the pose. This is a very kind and compassionate way to practice. Inhale, pull yourself back up. Bring both hands to the floor. Exhale, back into down dog. Again, if you're at a wall, back up 1 or 2 inches so that when you lift your right leg up, the ball of the foot can press into the wall. If you're not at a wall like me, you're still lifting your right leg up. Everyone squeeze your right sit bone muscle down the back of the right thigh and you're pushing back through the ball of the right foot. Use the lifting of the right leg and the pushing back to lengthen your spine. Don't lose the wrap in your shoulders. Pushing back through the leg, bring the foot down. Warrior 1 with bird wings. Step your left foot forward, warrior 1. Plug your upper arms into your side ribs. Forearms parallel. If the right hamstring is tweaky here, you can lift the heel, but energetically send your heel towards the floor, and you can even micro bend or even bend a lot that back knee. If it's okay, plug your right heel into the floor, and everyone squeeze your right sit bone muscle. Breathe into your side ribs. Exhale, keep the squeeze of your upper arms, separate your forearms. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, keep the squeeze, separate your forearms. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, keep the squeeze, separate your forearms. Inhale, come back to center. Float your arms up. Twisting warrior. The right elbow comes over your left thigh. Make a fist with the bottom hand and cup it with the top hand. You can always do easy twisting warrior. The right hand could be on a block or the floor. You could bring the back knee down and do twisting lunge. Push into both arms. Inhale, lift your torso away from the floor. Exhale, pushing into your right elbow strongly and your active feet. Feel for coming a little deeper into your twist. The left shoulder blade moves away from the left forearm. And then relax your neck here. If you feel like you're losing balance, that's okay. But press into your feet even more and get your breath spacious and soft. Unwind, exhale back into your plank, lower all the way to the floor. Grab your roll for Cobra push-ups over the roll. This is great for lengthening your spine and warming up your low back. Hands beneath the shoulders. Curl the pubic bone towards the floor. Inhale, pushing into the hands, drag your ribs forward and up. Curl the pubic bone towards the floor. Exhale, drag your ribs forward, lower down. Do 3 more on your own, connecting into your spot.
Can you use this to move in a way that feels kind and compassionate for yourself without actually just collapsing over your roll? Come up onto hands and knees, move your roll. Exhale, down dog. Down dog, one leg up. Lift your left leg up, push into the wall if you're at a wall. Push back through the ball of the foot if you're not at a wall. Inhale, telescope your ribs, meaning move the ribs away from your shoulders. Exhale, use that left leg to help and pull your belly in a little bit. Squeeze the left sit bone muscle down the back of the left thigh. Lower the leg. Warrior one. Step your right foot forward. Bird wing. Plug your upper arms into the side ribs. Inhale, feel your side ribs expand. Exhale, squeeze the upper arms in, rotate or separate rather your forearms out. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, keep the squeeze, separate your forearms. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, keep the squeeze, separate your forearms. Feel your shoulder blades squeezing towards each other. Inhale, come back to center. Twisting warrior. I'm gonna just turn around so that I'm twisting towards you. You have the option of making it a twisting lunge or easy twisting warrior. It's your left elbow over your right thigh. Inhale, lift your torso away from the floor. Exhale, push into that left arm. So you have that traction, you get the left ribs towards your right thigh, the right ribs up towards the ceiling a little more. And then from there, relax your neck a little more. Separate the backs of your teeth. Feel for having the twist come from your torso and not from your neck and not from your hips. So push into both feet. Make sure your right hip stays lined up with your right knee and the left hip moves forward. Inhale into your right side ribs. Exhale, lift that right shoulder up a little bit more by pressing into your right hand. And then from there, let your neck relax a tiny bit more. Unwind. Exhale back into your down dog. Down dog, one leg up. It's the right leg. Inhale, lift it up, push back through the ball of the foot. If you're at a wall, push the ball of the foot into the wall. Use this to traction your ribs away from your shoulders. Pull your front bottom ribs in, pull your belly in. Lower the right foot to the floor. Lower the knees to the floor. This is where we go to the wall. So if you don't have a wall, your options are Dolphin, one leg up. Both legs, 4 to 6 breaths per side. Repeat, down dog, one leg up, 4 to 5 breaths each side. If you have wall space and you're not there yet, this is the time to move to the wall. And that's what I'm going to do with my camera. So, I'm in my tiny little hallway, so you're not going to be able to see my whole body, but you'll see enough. Dolphin, 1 foot up the wall. Set up in your dolphin, elbows underneath shoulders, hips over your knees. Take your elbow measurement, either clasp hands for the extra support or forearms parallel. I'm going to do the version with hands clasped. Relax your neck, push into the forearms, breathe into your upper back. Exhale, wrap your shoulder blades towards the armpits. And straighten the legs. The heels stay on the wall, but you can move the balls of the feet away from the wall a little bit. You may stay here if this feels like your edge. If you have further to go, inhale, lift the left leg up the wall, ball of the foot on the floor, or on the wall rather. If that's uncomfortable, you can try the top of the foot on the wall. But what I find is the ball of the foot on the wall is easier to push into to help traction your ribs away from the shoulders. Pull your front bottom ribs in, wrap your shoulder blades. Inhale along the length of your spine. Exhale, squeeze that left sit bone muscle up the back of the left thigh, push into the left ball of the foot. Bring your left foot back to the floor. If you need a break, come into embryo and then meet back up. The other side, inhale, lift your right leg up the wall, ball of the foot on the floor, push into it, or wall, push into it. Push into your forearms, inhale, traction your ribs away from your shoulders. Pull your belly in, your front bottom ribs in, squeeze that right sit bone muscle into the thigh. Lower the foot to the floor, bring the knees down. Sit back in embryo. Roll up to sit. Down dog, one leg up the wall. To set up into down dog at the wall, your feet are right up against the baseboards and the wall. Start off with the hands right underneath the shoulders, shoulder width, and then walk your hands forward about 4 inches. So you're not going to be able to see my hands here. Push into your hands, just like what we did in that barely turbo puppy. Just going to tuck my shirt in. So push into your hands strongly, like in barely turbo puppy. This time the elbows are straight. Unless you hyper extend, then bend the elbows enough that you're not into that hypermobile joint. Relax your neck. Breathe into the upper back. Exhale, straighten the legs. Again, heels stay on the wall, balls of the feet on the floor. This is your edge, stay here. Working on pulling your front bottom ribs in, stretching your hamstrings. And if that hurts, you can always bend the knees. If you have further to go, lift your left leg up, ball of the foot on the wall. Inhale, push into the ball of the foot. Feel for lifting your sit bone muscles away from your shoulders. Lower the foot to the floor. Lift your right leg up. Ball of the foot on the wall. Push into it. Inhale. Use that pushing into the wall to really traction your ribs and your sit bones away from your shoulders. Don't let your right shoulder come up higher than your left. Lower the right foot to the floor. Bring the knees down. If you'd like an embryo, take an embryo. And then I'm moving my camera back to my more spacious mat. You can stay where you are, but come onto your back. For some back release pose, lie on your back. Start off with the feet on the floor. Inhale along your spine. Just notice how your back feels, how your spot feels. Then bring the right ankle over the left knee, right on the thigh. Flex the right foot. You can stay here, right hand on the right thigh, left hand on the left, and traction your back by pushing into the hands.
Also push into your right ankle to send the right knee away from the hip. If you have further to go, lift the left foot off of the floor, grab behind the thigh. You can even grab your clothing if that's better for your neck and your shoulders. If you have further to go, grab in front of the shin. Inhale into the back ribs. If you have further to go, as you exhale, squeeze that left thigh towards your chest. Gently unwind, bring both feet back to the floor. The left ankle comes over your right thigh. You can take this version of back traction. You can lift the right foot away from the floor, grab where it's not past your edge. Don't lift your head up, don't let your neck arc away from the floor. Spread your breath into your back ribs. Exhale. If you have further to go, squeeze that right thigh towards your chest. Shoulder blades away from the ears. Gently unwind. Set both feet to the floor. Let your low back settle. Let your sacrum settle. And breathe in into your low back, along your spine, and into your spot. Just notice how you feel. This is a very compassionate and kind way to work. You need to be able to feel what's going on in your body to then make a decision on what version of every pose will work best for you in that moment. And that may change moment to moment, that's okay. So here for Shavasana, your choices. You could rest the backs of the calves on your couch or your bed or a chair. You could also have your feet as wide as your mat, knocking your knees together. These are all great options for low back. If you're still at the wall, you could have your legs straight up the wall. Make sure your hips are right up against the wall. But if you'd like to come into a more classic Shavasana, straighten your legs. Make sure that you can really settle and sink into the support of the floor and whatever other prop you're using. And since you're at home, most likely, if you've got two pillows, you can also place them underneath your thighs, and that could be great for your low back too. If you'd like a longer Shavasana, set a timer for 5 to 10 minutes, and you can either join back after that or just finish your own Shavasana. attention back to your whole body. Take a deep, saturating breath in, filling your whole core. Exhale, rinse that deep, saturating breath with kindness and compassion through your whole body, connecting to every cell in your body. Slowly bend your knees, bring the soles of the feet to the floor, and pause there. Let your low back and your sacrum settle. And then slowly turn over to your side and slowly make your way up to sit. Let your head and your neck be the last to come up. Sit in a way that makes your low back feel comfortable and spacious. That could be sitting up on a block or a pillow or a blanket. As you inhale into your heart, where we tend to hold our kindness and compassion for others as well as for ourselves. Exhale, rinse this kindness and compassion in and through your spot. And when you do that, also feel for how your spot has shifted and changed. It really does not matter how big of a change or how small of a change. Practicing with kindness and compassion is just feeling whatever it is you feel in the moment without judgment. Bring your hands in front of your heart. Take a deep inhale in. Namaste. Thank you. Happy whatever day this is for you.